interagency-wide, all the different land managers have been implementing projects all around the New Harmony Valley to try to mitigate some of the fire potential and some of the devastation when wildfires start here in southern Utah. In 2010, we started the project creating some defensible space for the community before the 2012 New Harmony wildfire started. The New Harmony fire was approximately 2,000 acres, and when it came in contact with this fuels treatment, it actually really narrowed the scope and narrowed its path to a great degree. When the fire hit the treatment, a lot of the intensity kind of diminished on its own, and in places the fire actually went out without any suppression efforts. But fire crews were able to get into this area, and they were able to go direct on the flanks of the fire, and they were able to have a really fast knockdown, and that was before it hit the community. If the treatment wouldn't have been in place before the 2012 fire, the fire front would have been much wider, and it would have had a much greater impact on the community itself. And the real success story here is there were a lot of homes saved. There were way more homes that were saved due to aggressive firefighting efforts and due to a combination of fuels treatments both on public land and on private property. So it was just a really big success from an interagency standpoint.
Well, we've been doing a lot of fuels reduction projects in the Color Country District, and this is one of the main projects we've done here. And last year we had a fire actually hit the project and kind of slowed it down and turned it away from some of the homes. And the fire breaks, I've actually seen it happen in some fires that we've had around. The fires, when it's going through these trees, you're getting 30-foot plus flame lengths coming through those trees. Definitely not a safe area for a firefighter to be on the ground working against those. When they hit these fuel treatments, the fire actually lays down on the ground, and you're working with some 3-foot flame lengths where you can actually work with some fire trucks. And we try to choose places that we put these fire breaks that have some road access so we can get the fire trucks down and access those. And like I say, it's a lot safer situation to get in there and to fight that fire when the flame lengths are lower, as opposed to really running through the trees. One of the biggest benefits, if we have fires come through, but there's other fringe benefits. A great benefit for this area here is for the wildlife. As you can see, there's a lot of browse and brush species here that have come back after we've taken the trees out. And that's one good thing about the bullhog, is we can selectively take the pinyon and juniper trees and take them out of the mix, and that frees up some water for the shrubs and the forbs and grasses, which greatly benefit the wildlife.
I cut down a lot of trees. I mean, we love the trees, but when we moved here, I had 2 trees over my propane tank. That's not a good idea. I had a tree that was right next to the house. I don't know if you can see it, but I cut it down. I mean, it was, 3 feet from the house. And this whole area through here was all, close together trees, and you got to trim those out. Something that we did, this house was a vinyl house when we moved in, and the spring before the fire, we put stucco on it. We replaced it with stucco. If this was vinyl, it would have been gone. I built a road around my house that my side-by-side can go around, and basically the fire came up this slope, stopped along this little road here, and headed on north, being driven by the wind. And you can't tell me that didn't save something. So little measures like that. I mean, tree spacing, my little road, all these different measures, limbing up. I highly recommend doing defensible space if you want to save your home. You have to do these things because that's just part of the process of saving it. And so you have to, clean things up 50 feet out, and then clean things up to some extent 100 feet out, and create circles of protection for yourself, and then you have to stay after it. And that's what it takes. It's nice living nearby nature, but you have to protect yourself.
Living in the area, you're in the forest, you wanted green trees, you wanted this around. It's a risk. To eliminate risks, what would you do? We had a survey done early on what things could be done to improve. We wanted a log home, and so we've got a log home. So materials, I guess the best protection for the roof is a metal roof, or one of the better ones. And so that's what we've got. This being, we have what, 35 feet here that has stone that nothing will burn. And so this gives us a real good fuel break, fire break, whatever you want to call it.
They basically cleared trees, cut some fuel breaks behind us, and basically burnt the wood after they cut it or chipped it. And they cut a pretty big area. That's what saved the home here. You can see where they diverted the fire down. But yeah, we put in a pressure pump back here and a 1,000-gallon tank, and when the fire came, we basically turned the sprinklers on, and this here we'd soaked the deck. So we had everything pretty much sopping wet, I guess. We thinned and cut trees out. We're doing it now. We're cutting a lot of the June grass or cheap grass out. So we do a lot. So it's a yearly process. You do it every year. You need a defensible space, basically just for peace of mind, knowing that you've got a clearance where they can get in and protect the place if they have to. I mean, it's very important to clear the brush, keep it clean, and do what you can to protect it.
During this fire, an awful lot of really good things came together. First of all, Forest Service funding for fuel breaks and defensible space around the structures you see in the background here enabled the private landowners and the Division of Forestry, Fire and State Lands to help protect these homes prior to the fire. The Bureau of Land Management also did a lot of fuels work in the area, as well as these homes behind me were built under the Wildland Urban Interface building code, which all of these things coming together, all of these efforts, along with aggressive firefighting that took place, made this a really big success story for the division and the other collaborating agencies and homeowners.